so glad to have you here. Please feel free to put your comments in the chat. So welcome everyone. That music just wants to keep going. All right. So like our CEO here at Microsoft says, we want to be passionate and be bold. Um, just like those rebels, right? Be passionate, be bold, always keep learning. You stop doing useful things when you don't learn. So congratulations to all of you for being part of this Azure Infrastructure by MTT's Learning Room. We are super glad to have you all with us on this journey, and wish you luck with your future, and are glad to be part of it. So we have a big agenda for today. After we get through the welcome and introductions, we'll talk about what the learning room is, discuss training journeys, different training options, and go through a demo and leave time for questions at the end. All right. So who's leading this session? Who are your facilitators here in this learning room? So let's go through the welcome and introductions.
Oh, before we get to that, we actually have a trivia, and that's my fault. Just so y'all know, the Galactic Empire, they did send some stormtroopers down, and we have a request to follow. So let's just abide by it. Every now and then, we're going to get these wonderful stormtroopers coming in, and they'll be asking us to answer some trivia questions. So we have the first one up. The first one is, and if you want to get, there you go. What's the name of Han Solo's ship? So if anyone wants to give that a try in the chat, feel free to. And for those that are listening in later on, drum roll, the answer is
Millennium Falcon.
And I see one in chat, the Millennium Falcon, yes. All right, so that's just the first question. We will have some of that during today. Thank you.
Good. Thank you, Kristin. All right. So who is Kristin? Look at that. And you're with the story. You are on the dark side. Oh,
I'm not. Goodness. I had to be friendly with them. And I usually, as Boba Fett, I usually never remove my helmet. But my name is Kristin Dixing. I'm a Microsoft technical trainer, along with the other wonderful Jedi Masters on the call. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I'll be here helping out, and yeah, I constantly upskill, and I hope to share my knowledge with you all throughout today. And feel free to connect with me as well. The QR code is there on the slide. I'll pass it on.
Thank you, Kristin. Sara, glad to have you.
Thank you, Linda. Same here. Hi, everyone. I'm Sara Said. I'm also a Microsoft technical trainer. I'm based in Dubai. Really excited to be here. Really excited to talk to you about all the amazing things that you're going to see through this session. Again, please connect with me on LinkedIn. Also, I'll leave my LinkedIn connection here. And I really enjoy usually like crazy activities. So if you're into that, let me know. So other than that, really happy to be here, and I'll give it back to Linda.
All right. Thank you, Sara. Thank you, Kristin. All right. And then this is me. I'm Linda Larkin. I am a Microsoft certified trainer. I've been here at Microsoft for 3 years, and I've been a trainer for a long time before that. So over the course of my career, I've done a lot of work with Office 365 consulting. I'm focused now on data and AI here at Microsoft. And excited to be part of the infrastructure learning room. So I'm also learning some of this content along with all of you. So this is stretching a little bit outside of my specialty, and it's a joy to be part of it. So when I'm not teaching, I enjoy the culture that we have here in Louisiana, all the food and the fun, the festivals, especially Mardi Gras here. We, it's a year-round celebration with parties and all kinds of fun stuff. So if you get an opportunity, I do hope that you all will pay a visit to the region. I think you'll enjoy it. All right. So enough about us. Let's talk about what the Learning Room is, the Azure Infrastructure by MTT's Learning Room. So this is a team in Teams, so a digital space where you are able to connect with learning experts. So the learning experts here are all full-time trainers here at Microsoft. You'll also get a chance to connect with other learners as well as you work towards your learning goals together. So periodically, we will have live events that are available to you in the live sessions recording folder. And then we'll also keep the conversation going in the Teams channels in between. So we look forward to connecting with you all there, and we'll help you with the course content for AZ 104, AZ 305, AZ 500, AZ 700, AZ 800, and 801. If those numbers don't mean anything to you at this point, that's okay. You're in the right place. We're going to be talking about training journeys coming up in just a moment. Okay. All right. And that said, Sara, let's go ahead and turn it over to you.
Thank you. Thank you. I think Kristin's back.
All right. Those darn stormtroopers, what are we going to do with them?
Yeah, it's that time again. We gotta answer this question. They are curious. What's the species of Chewbacca?
Well,
Before I can even finish that, I see a
all right. What's
response
the
in the chat.
species? I can't even say it. Chewbacca should be the hard word to say. Species of Chewbacca. All right. Anybody want to take a guess at that?
I do see a response in the chat. We have Wookiee. So that is the answer.
All right. Chewbacca is a Wookiee. A Wookiee. All right. Any Wookiees in the house
I
today?
could have made the sound yesterday. I can't make it today. I see a request for the sound of the Chewbacca sound.
Here, wait. I have it.
Didn't hear it.
All right. So let's get back to the business at hand here and talk about those training journeys. Thank you, Kristin. All right, Sara.
Awesome. Yes. Perfect. So yeah, as you see, we're here to talk to you about how you can get started, right? And let me see if I can go into the next slide. 1 second. Oh, here we go. Okay, here we go. Perfect. I can see it now. Awesome. So yeah, so how can we get started, right? So you're just starting off with Azure. So to help you get started and, get upskilled, help you find out what training options and what certifications that you have access to really. So Microsoft provides you these different training and certification guides. Each guide has different resources to help you with your learning journey. So if you're just starting off, these are going to be a great place to start. These guides are actually for each solution area. As you can see on the bottom here, you'll find a guide for each solution area. So one for Azure, one for Dynamics, Microsoft 365, Power Platform, and security. So since we're focusing on how to get started with Azure, we will be focusing on the Azure guide, of course, today, but you, of course, also have access to the other guides as well. So if you're interested in any of the other solution areas, these are also available for your accessing. Thank you, Kristin. So Kristin just shared with you the link to the Azure Training Journey. Please use that open it up, you'll see a lot of the things that we're going to see in the next couple of slides as well. And so, yeah, so these guides are going to provide you different resources to help you prepare with your learning journey. So if you're just getting started, as I said, these are a great place to start. So the really cool thing about these guides as well is that they don't just give you the training journey. You can also find the right path for you based on your either current role, so something that you're trying to specialize in right now, or maybe a role that you're aspiring to be in your career. So let's say you're an IT pro, but you want to go into cloud architecture. So you'll find a full-on training journey that's specifically tailored to the solution architect role. Maybe you're a developer, or maybe you're someone who wants to go into AI now and be an AI engineer. So there's a lot of different roles that these training journeys have been kind of split into to help you find the right path for you. So these training journeys actually, and I'll show you a couple of the examples in a minute of these training journeys. And let me again try to go to the next slide. Thank you. So these training journeys will give you a recommended path, right, with different courses that you can take to achieve your learning journey. So there are different types of courses that you will see in this training journeys that we just shared with you. And in the training journey, you will find different types of courses. So Linda was mentioning in the beginning, like if you're not familiar with what's AZ 104, what's 305, what are these kind of courses? So if you see on the left side here under the Azure pillar, again, we're focusing on the Azure side, you will see that you have different courses, either kind of the fundamental courses, what we call fundamental courses, to introduce you to the basics. So Azure fundamentals, AI fundamentals, data fundamentals. So you can start off with these courses. We also have role-based courses. So for example, there is AZ 104. What is AZ 104? It's an Azure administrator. So if there's someone who is interested to be a cloud administrator and work with different types of services, this is the right course for you. So there's a lot of examples in the types of courses that you can take. You can also take specialty courses. So if you're looking into SAP or Cosmos DB, so there's a lot of different courses available in the market from Microsoft. But how can we get started? So where is the training journey, and how do these fit into our training journey? So if I go to the next part, and let me show you some examples. Hopefully it will go through. Thank you, Linda. So, yeah. So let's look at this one. So as I said, the training journeys will give you a recommended path with different courses from the list of courses that you just saw that you can take to achieve your goal. So if you're someone who just got started, you're just about to, get into the cloud, you're looking into Azure, you're not sure exactly where to go, what courses should I start off with? So if you're, just wanting to master the basics, you want to go through just the basic concepts as a starter, and then maybe take other courses as you go along. So the Master the Basics training journey is perfect when you're trying to see, okay, what are the courses that, if I'm new to Azure, what's the course for me? So AZ 900, for example, which is a fundamental course, taking you through the basics of Azure. If I'm just starting and I want to be an administrator. So this whole training journey will cover the different courses and give you recommendations on what kind of courses that you can take. We have these kind of training journeys for different roles as well. So this is just for Master the Basics, but you can see, for example, I don't want to just master the basics. I want to go into being an IT expert, right? And I want to know where to start, and I want to know what are the other things that I can do as well. What are the other courses that I can bring my, learning journey to the next level? So if you look at this training journey, it will also show you, for example, this is the first course that you can go through. And then if you want to specialize, let's say in DevOps, or you want to be a cloud solution architect, these are other courses that you can take as well. So there's a training journey for each and every role. Another one, and I'll show you another last example here. Developer, you're a developer, you're doing mobile applications, for example, but you want to go into the cloud mobile development. How can I go into that? I can start with Azure Developer, AZ 204, and then I can actually see what are the other courses that can support me in my journey as a developer as well. So as you can see, these are different training journeys that can help you. And you can see that again in the link that Kristin has just shared with you. All of these different journeys per role, whether you're aspiring it to be a specific role or even to help you in your current role as well. So now we kind of figured out, okay, what are the paths that we can take? And but you kind of might be asking yourself, like, okay, but what are my training options? So I know, okay, I'm gonna go for AZ 104, for example, the Azure Administrator, but what are my training options here? So now I'm actually going to ask Kristin. Kristin, what are our training options, and what can we do next? I think
that is a good
mute.
question. Yeah, of course. What is a call without being on mute? So yeah, we've seen what we've seen so far with Sara is, looking at the different parts we can take, and the question is, how can we get the training to help equip us with that, right? So that's what I'm going to talk about now. Let's go ahead to the next. But before I get to there, of course, as we expected, these stormtroopers, they are coming every now and then, and they are requesting that we answer some questions. So we have another question, and I would love if someone could come off mute or put in the chat, what planet do you think Yoda lives on? Or as Yoda might say, what Yoda live on planet? If anyone can guess what planet you think Yoda lives on, if you followed Star Wars or heard about it. Wrong answers are welcome too.
It's a trap.
It's not a trap. All right. The answer is actually Dagobah. All right. So fun fact there. And thank you for the GIFs I see coming in the chat as well. All right. The training options. So one resource that we will always point to is that Azure Training Journey that scopes out all the different parts you can take, the certifications, the courses, the things that are available in Microsoft Learn. You can all find it in that Azure Training Journey, and that's specific to Azure. As we are in the Azure Infrastructure Learning Room, we're kind of focusing on that. But all in all, the training options that are available with Microsoft is we have self-paced free content on Microsoft Learn. We have instructor-led options. You can leverage getting into a learning partner training or virtual training days, and I'll talk more about that just now. Or you can, as you can have one or all, you can utilize different options, and one of them is this learning room as well. Other learning rooms as well that Microsoft Learning Room environment has for different topics. This one is Azure Infrastructure for sure. So these are different training options, right? So first up, kind of focusing on the Azure Virtual Training Days. I mentioned the self-paced training. You can find that in Microsoft Learn. But the Azure Virtual Training Days, these are something you can also find in Microsoft Learn, but it'll take you to another website where you're going to register and get some training depending on whether it be fundamentals or whether it be topics that are related to different Azure advanced role-based courses and certifications. So we have some examples here. We have fundamentals with the Azure, different fundamentals, data, AI, the AZ900 Azure fundamentals, but then we also have topic-specific ones, right? So we have things like DevOps and Linux and migrating on premises, or maybe you want to innovate and scale with cloud-native apps. Many different options here. So I'll encourage you all to check that out as well. It is also free, a free resource for sure. So this one here is kind of pointing back what I'm saying about the Azure training journey, something that we put in the chat as well, and something that Sarah was showing previously, where it showed the different paths you can take. One really good resource I found with this is for each path and each course, you're going to have these little icons that are actually hyperlinked to the different training options available, right? So if we were to look at AZ 104, this is one of them that you'll find in there, and it's typically one that most of y'all might be interested in, maybe. It's the Azure Administrator one. Next to it, you'll see some icons, and those icons will actually point you to various things. So we have a legend at the top, and then you'll be able to see, okay, for AZ 104, we have the ability to take advantage of the free self-paced training. We have the ability to take advantage of exam preparation, which is actually really good vital resources in that it's videos to help with exam readiness preparation, and all in Microsoft Learn as well, right? And then the other one is those practice assessments, and that's something that learners really find valuable, because you have these you can go ahead at your own time and go ahead and take these assessments to help kind of knowledge check you and also prepare you for that kind of environment of writing an exam. So definitely check that out as well. Some other things there are also the cloud games. There are 2 cloud games that Microsoft has published over the course of last year to this year. One is on data and one is on security. Super fun, very interactive, role-based, on-demand, self-paced training. Definitely think you should check that out. It does kind of focus on more of the advanced experience, but whether you're a learner, a Padawan, or a Jedi Master, you can go ahead and give it a try. It is on demand. As I said, you can go and play it at any point in time and just experience it. At least give it a try. It's a really good experience, right? So those are some of the things I wanted to kind of point you to, but I'm going to hand it over now to Linda. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Kristin. That was super. Thank you for showing us the resources there that are available. So, so I'm going to take you through a demo now, and so I want you to close your eyes for a minute, and I want you to imagine if Princess Amidala, right, Princess Leia's mother, if when she was Queen of Naboo, if she decided that she wanted to make a career change, right? So Queen Amidala is, enjoying her reign as being queen and all of the, responsibilities, attending all the royal galas and taking care of her kingdom. But, in the back of her mind, she's always wanted to do more. She's always been interested in technology. She's always known that, interested in this journey to the cloud. And, she feels like that if she, had skills with Azure, that she could better serve her people. So with that in mind, we're going to go through a demonstration and see how would that look? What steps would she take? But before we do, we've got one more last trivia break. Those stormtroopers again. All right.
Yes, and I
Kristin.
need to make sure that I follow the orders. I did see a Darth Vader showed up in camera and went back off. I saw you. Your stormtroopers are following the request. So we have one last trivia, and for those that I saw some late joiners too, and that's okay. All is welcome. We have one more question. And Linda, if you don't mind bringing that question up for me.
One question. Yes.
Who do you think is the only character to appear in all 9 main Star Wars films? Anyone?
All right.
Anyone?
All right. C3PO.
Right. Oh, I see the answers coming in.
Sarah,
Oh, very close.
Sarah,
happens to be,
Yeah.
yes, C-Trivia.
Very good. Very good. And good guess there. Good, good. All right.
TDC was
Good
a
job with
close
that.
one. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Thank you, Kristin. All right. So now let's get back to the business at hand here and say, okay, if if um if Princess Amidala wants to change change careers, then she's going to first start with this Azure training journey that Sara talked with us about. And we have the link in the chat. It's um, AKA for also known as, right? .ms. That's how all of our shortcut links begin. Azure training journey. So it's easy to remember, right? So from the Azure training journey, we're going to look through, and I'm going to look at this one. This is the one that Sara talked with us about, the master the basics, right? If I have not yet taken the AZ 900, then I want to take that first, right? So if Princess Amidala wants to be an Azure administrator, that course is AZ 104, but AZ 900 is a prerequisite for it. And so, as Kristin talked with us about, we can go here and we can get this self-paced learning, or she can participate in a virtual training day. So all of these are hyperlinked, right? Has the content there, the self-paced content. This is all free. In the past, with the Microsoft training courses, if you wanted to know what was in the course, if you wanted to get the book for the course, Skill Pipe, you'd have to take the course, right? You'd have to register for it before you could get the materials. Now, all of these materials are available for free on Microsoft Learn. So there's never been a better, more convenient, more economical time where you can for you to upskill. All right. So we've got the fundamentals, and then we've got the AZ 104 course. Clicking the link, I see the paths that are part of this, or the modules that are part of this learning path, right? So, for instance, if I'm interested this part, maybe Princess Amidala knows a little something about some of these already. Maybe she's has some experience with deploying and managing Azure compute resources already, but she really wants to focus on this manage identities. Okay. Then by clicking that link, the content is available here. So one thing that we haven't talked about yet that's important to note is that we can sign in to Microsoft Learn in order to save these learning modules, save these learning paths, so that we can return to them later. So to use this to sign in, we need to have a personal Microsoft account. So some of you already have a personal Microsoft account. This is not your work email address. But what this is if you've played Xbox, if you have an Xbox Live account, if you have a Hotmail account or Outlook.com, any of those are personal Microsoft accounts. You can set one up from account.microsoft.com. And this is what the page looks like. So if we already have that, like I said, a Hotmail account or Xbox account, then we can just sign in, make sure that we know the password for it, right? But if we don't have one, we need to create a Microsoft account. Then down at the bottom, scroll, 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 then we can create an account. Create an account, and then you can either use a personal email address that you already have, like a Gmail address, right? Or you can use a phone number, or you can get a brand new Outlook.com or Hotmail.com. Okay. All right. So I'm going to close out of this, and actually, I'm going to jump in and be Linda for a minute. Um, and as Linda, I'm going to sign in to this learning path, and let's see how this looks. So we found Linda. All right, so it knows me. When I go back here, it knows me. It knows sees my achievement, things that I've completed. These are this is what I've been working on. That is front and center so that I can return, right? So I can see my progress over here on the right. I have my modules that I have saved. I have my certifications that I've earned. Q&A, this is an online community for asking questions, right? Which is a little bit different from the learning room. You might use Q&A if you just have like a single question about a product, whereas the learning room is where you'll find resources and support for completing your learning journey and earning certifications or getting more of an in-depth understanding about a product. Achievements. This shows my completed learning paths and collections here. This is what I've saved. And then transcript. This is my certification history where I can then share the link with others as well. Okay. Am I leaving anything out on this, Sara or Kristin? Okay. All right.
I would say one thing. I think it's achievements. If you can go to there.
Yes.
A lot of folks in the past have asked, if I haven't taken the certification, but maybe I want to show if I've completed something. If you complete a learning path or a module, right next to each trophy that we see here at the top right, there's a little print button, and that will take you to a nice PDF certification kind of achievement that you can also share on social media. Yeah. Could share on
Look at
social media and stuff
that.
as well.
That's a
Yeah.
great tip.
Yeah. So
That's
it's
a great
another
tip.
way of kind of racking up your accomplishments. It's a feel-good thing too as well. So
Very
yeah.
good. Very good. Yes. So like you said, not everyone has the goal of preparing for a certification exam and passing a certification exam. We at Microsoft recommend it. We think it's a great way to demonstrate your mastery of the subject. But as you progress on your journey and you get these wins, then celebrate those milestones and share those as well. So I'm glad that you brought that up, Kristin. Um, for those of you who are interested in earning a certification, preparing for that exam, we also have another session. If you missed it, it's over in the live session recordings folder that I encourage you to check that out. So that session, led by Sara and Niraj, they talk you through how to prepare for the exam itself, exam readiness resources, and also registering for the exam too. All right. So, so when we get back to Princess Amidala, she has, discovered her learning path. She signed up for a personal Microsoft account, and she has started on her training journey so that she can gain these Azure skills and better serve the people of Naboo. So, all right. With that said, we'll go back and kind of wrap up the loose ends and save time for questions. So we talked about using a personal Microsoft account, and I'll put that, looks like we've got that link in the chat already. Thank you. We can also, we didn't talk about this, but it's actually this we're going to save part of this for another day as far as connecting this to your work account. We're going to save that, but we do want to be sure that we sign into Microsoft Learn so that we can record that achievement. If you choose to take the certification exam, you will be offered a digital badge that I encourage you to claim. When we started this session and we did our introductions, you saw on Kristin and Sara and mine slide that we have the digital badges. So those are available for you as well, and they are verifiable. So be sure to be on the lookout for that email from Credly so that you can claim that badge. And once you do, if you choose to take the certification exam, you can also use Microsoft Learn to renew your certification as well. So keep that in mind. I know for most of you, you're starting off on your certification journey. So, but just keep that in the back of your mind that once you take and pass the exam, then that is you don't have to, as long as you keep your certification current, you don't have to take that same role-based exam again. You can just renew your certification on Microsoft Learn. It's free and it's not the same. It's not the same pressure type environment that sometimes comes with an exam. Okay. All right. So that said, I want to let's turn it over to you all and let us know, what questions do you all have for us? This is not just for me. This is also Kristin and Sara. If you have questions for either of them as well. All right. So Sara, do you want to talk about the call to action?
Yes, of course. Thank you, Linda. Yeah, so of course we want to keep building on your learning journey. So we're going to share with you a template where you can actually create your own learning journey. So similar to the ones that we saw earlier for the IT Pro, for Master the Basics, you can actually even create your own kind of learning journey. So we'll share with you these templates. It's an empty one. You can look at all the different resources we're going to share with you, the Azure Training Journey, the certification poster, all of these other resources that can really bring you to figure out where you can start And then with that template, you can actually share with us your own learning journey. So you can put, okay, I'm starting off with AZ 104. I'm going to go into DevOps next, or I want to be an architect. So you can actually build that type of learning journey in that template. So we'll share that with you, of course, as well. Fill it in, share it with us in the Azure Infrastructure by Entities Learning Room. We'll create a post so you can just add in the comments your learning journeys and ask us, let us know what you need. Do you need help to find a specific course, or you have a question about anything at all, just let us know on the learning room. We're more than happy to help you here. So this is a call to action to you. We're waiting for your learning journeys. We're gonna keep bugging you about them, so please share us with these in the learning room. So
Thank you, Sarah. Yeah, thank you for that. And I would encourage folks, like, it does help us to know what people are working on, right? Clearly, it helps us as far as shaping this learning room and knowing what live events are going to be most helpful for the people who are in it. But it's also good for us to write down our goals, right? There's a lot of people who say, you write it down, you make it happen. So um, we hope that you will share this with us, because that way we can better support you. Um, but even if you're even if you just don't have it in you to share it with it, like, spend some time, you know, spend some time working with it and thinking it over, and do it for you, right? Share it with us. it, we'd love that, but at least do it for you. So we are entering what has been described as the fourth machine age, right? And a lot of things are going to be happening really quickly as far as speed of technology. So just do your future self a favor and set those goals and start working to achieve them. If Queen Amidala can totally reshape her career and start down this, then I know that you all can do that as well. So, all right. Um, we do have lots and lots of resources for you. We will be sharing all of these links over in the Teams channel. So go ahead, expect those to be posted um, within the next um, definitely today. I want to say in the next hour, but definitely today. So, and just in the meantime, please keep the lines of communication open and let us know how we can help you. So, thank you all so very much for joining us today. Happy Star Wars Day, and may the Force be with all of you. So, thank you so much. Thank you for joining, and thanks so much to my partners on this.
Thank